Welcome to Vsb News Online for Tuesday, April the 14th. I'm Charles Webb. Tonight we'll see the finishing touches being made to the creation of Team Goslin, the business grouping that will be trying to take back control of the Corporation of Hamilton from the Team Hamilton that came to power 3 years ago. Vsb News' Brian Darby asked the group's leader, former Mayor Charles Goslin, about the state of play.
Well, I would say that there's certainly been there's a certain amount of being fed up with how things are going. But we did get 416 businesses to register, and I think I was one of the few that was actually able to go up there and register and be able to walk away without being called back. I know of others that have been called back 5 or 6 times to get their registration papers corrected, or where they have required additional information.
That's a worrying situation, isn't it?
Yes, but for them to go back 5 or 6 times actually shows that a large portion of these 416 are not giving up. They really want to see change.
Would it be unfair to ask you if you were putting a team Gosling together?
No, it would not. We are in the process of doing such. We are not only looking from the business side, but also from the residents' side as well. And we are hoping by the end of today to actually have a completed team.
Are you optimistic when you make this approach after what's happened in the past?
It's going to be quite a challenge. It's going to be a whole different set of challenges than what we had 6 years ago.
Indeed.
And unfortunately, when we lost 3 years ago, there was so much opportunity for development of sites within the city, of working with government, and now it's going to be going around picking up the pieces and seeing what we can put together. Certainly, when you have things like the lease of Parleville, where you think that you have it all neatly tied up, where the developer has 90 days in which to come with the money, and we just see that being slowly just unraveled, and extensions being given, and now we're in the situation where the corporation actually has the potential of even losing that piece of property.
Recognizing, responding, and referring victims of domestic and sexual abuse is not as difficult as it may seem, according to Laurie Shield, Executive Director of the Center Against Abuse. She gave this message today to members of the Hamilton Rotary Club during their weekly luncheon and later to VSB News.
You can come upon a scene. It may be someone intimately that you know. You can see change in their dress, change in their behavior. You can see changes just within their general physical, whether it's all of a sudden wearing a lot of dark shades, wearing makeup, maybe wearing their hair differently to cover certain things, or even seeing that the hair is thinning or being pulled out in patches. So there are a lot of ways that you can recognize domestic abuse.
So how would you refer them?
So one of the things that you can say is, well, I've noticed such and such. Do you know that there is help? Now, that person can or may not wish help at that time, but at least you are letting them know that there is help available to them. And this goes for not just Bermudians, but non-Bermudians, even those that are in Bermuda that do not speak English. We are there to assist them, because domestic abuse and sexual assault does not stop at English-speaking people. It does not stop at just affecting Bermudians. It affects everyone globally.
Now, I guess you can conceal domestic abuse more so than sexual abuse, can you?
Yes and no. When someone is sexually abused, there's usually a lot of trauma that goes with that. And so there may be a drastic change in that person's personality, If you're working with them, there may be a lot of missed days at work. So there are usually some type of telltale signs that are there.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, which would you say is the most prevalent, domestic abuse or sexual abuse, in Bermuda, that is?
In Bermuda, well, it's hard to say because, of course, everything goes on reporting, and not everyone reports. So for reporting purposes, last year we had 18 reports to the sexual assault response team, where in our office, when it came to domestic abuse, we dealt with over 150 cases, and I know the police deals with over 50 to 80 to 90 cases a month when it comes to domestic violence.
And now we have some encouraging news on the economic front from Vsb News' Brian Darby.
In one of the clearest statements that Bermuda's economic woes may be bottoming out, the island's shopkeepers saw receipts increase for the 7th month in a row when the February retail sales went up 2.4%. $73 million were spent in local stores that month, compared with $71.3 the same month of 2014. The largest growth was in the sale of motor vehicles, which increased by 18%, while in contrast retailers of service stations saw sales register February's largest decrease of 13.2%. Returning residents declared overseas purchases valued at $3 million, the same as last year. Another positive sign came in the fact that building material stores increased sales 4%, with residential contract jobs contributing to the biggest rise. Receipts from sales of food and liquor rose 3.9%, and tourist-related stores enjoyed a whopping 60% jump in their gross receipts. Brian Darby reporting for Vsb News.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Having completed a major exercise focused on its internal security role, the Bermuda Regiment is now gearing up for its annual overseas training exercise next month at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. Regiment Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Michael Foster Brown says Camp Lejeune is such an important location for training because there they can do many things that they cannot do on the island.
We need the space to shake out the troops. We need the ranges in order to fire. It allows us to keep pace with international best practice and keep our links alive with the other organisations that we work with. It's also important for retention because the opportunity to go abroad is attractive for people when they join up.
So this sort of boosts the morale knowing that they're going overseas.
It does, but the primary reason is so that we can train at a level that was physically not possible on the island.
Now, you had a weekend training dealing with riots and all that sort of stuff. They must be pretty well accomplished with this now, aren't they?
Well, we do it a lot. The turnover in the regiment is reasonably high as well. So the guys that were training on Exercise Joint Venture in 2013, a lot of them are now in support companies, so they're now working on the boats or the band or in various other areas. So we need to keep on top of it, and that's why we train on a regular basis.
What about the enthusiasm when it comes to the training? Is it in the beginning, or does this enthusiasm come at the end?
We work really hard to try and make the training fun and enjoyable, because why would you want to give up your weekends and your evenings if you didn't enjoy what you were doing? And my aim is that when people go home on a Monday morning and go to work, that they're bragging about what they did over the weekend. And the things that we did this weekend, which were public order and strike operations, they're some of the most fun that you can have in uniform, as well as being good, useful, valuable training.
Now, the women, I remember there are a lot more women in the regiment now. How are they coping with the men?
Well, they're coping very well. They were involved in both aspects of the exercise. So by both aspects, I mean they were actually exercising plus supporting the exercise. So the rioters actually consisted of a reasonable number of girls as well.
So this upcoming camp, you're looking forward to some good things coming out of the men and the women.
Yes, from all the soldiers. But it's going to be good. Camp Lejeune for 2 weeks, 3rd to the 17th of May. The theme is internal security, and we're going to deploy with 2 companies, and they're going to have a chance to learn skills, practice those skills, but also do something which we call force on force, which is when the platoons will be fighting against each other. And we're borrowing laser equipment so that you can actually tell when you've been hit, which makes it even more exciting for them.
The cancellation of this year's agricultural show may turn out to be a blessing in disguise, as it seems to have spawned a series of family festivals that will be held at Dockyard, Hamilton and St. George as an attachment to other scheduled events. The first one takes place at the Royal Naval Dockyard this Saturday and Sunday, with WEDCO and the Powerbird Association throwing the support behind a committee of 5 young entrepreneurs.
The Royal Naval Dockyard Family Festival promises really to be an excellent affair. What we all enjoy about it is how it's bringing the whole community together. We've provided a lot of opportunities for schools, for prison inmates to be able to showcase, art and crafts work. We've put a cry out to the community for volunteers to come and assist us with, different things like parking and the kids' activities and cleaning up and things of that nature. We've got some funds set aside for dance groups. We're looking to have a dance competition, so I know a lot of dance groups out there preparing for 24th of May. You may be midstream in your preparations, but still come out and show us what you got. You know what I mean? We can have some fun with that. Crystal talked a lot about some of the other entertainment and things that we have going up there. We're going to turn the clock tower lawn into somewhat of a vendor village. There's also going to be live entertainment there. And in the parking lot right behind it, that's going to be a center for a lot of kids' activities. We have, some different video games and some other games and activities that's going to take place there. And then the victualling yard is going to be like the ultimate adventure center. So we're going to have things like archery and laser tag and horseback riding, and that's where you can see all the giant fun castles and slides and obstacle courses and things of that nature. So a lot of different diverse things taking place up there for everyone to enjoy. Just some little technical details. Everyone knows about the upcoming America's Cup, and there's lots of preparation going on in Dockyard at the moment. As a result of that, all parking for the event will take place at Malabar Field. There will be a charge of $8 for parking. However, we're providing a free shuttle service back and forth for the duration of the event, so you'll be able to park your car safely, and someone will be there to transfer you to and from the event at the end of the day. We also want to let people know that we've spoken with Marina Ports, and we've actually added additional fares for the event. So on both Saturday and Sunday, there will be an additional 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. ferry taking people back into Hamilton, and people can easily get into Dockyard because the ferries start on both days from 9 a.m. in the morning.
Will the people who already are in the dockyard as tenants and renters of property, will they have a role to play in this?
Yeah, definitely. The goal here is to really bring Dockyard alive, and to be able to showcase everything that's on offer there. So we're working hand in hand with the vendors who are in the mall. Some of the restaurants are actually coming outside to have stalls as well, so that's a key component. And some of the vendors with the activities also have some different deals that they offer. So if you spend a certain amount of money in the mall, you can get some free activities or different food and things on the outside. So we're trying our best to collaborate with the persons who are already on site.
And now we turn to another entrepreneur, Earl Baisden, with the latest from the sports desk.
The Bermuda national cricket team have begun their Jamaica tour with 2 wins. They opened up with a 59-run victory over the Jamaican Masters champions. Bermuda batted first and scored 149 for 4 in their allotted 20 overs, with Dion Stovall the top scorer on 36, while O.J. Pitcher added 34, and for Craig Crockwell scored 32. In reply, they restricted the Jamaican Masters champions to 90 for 4 in 20 overs. Joshua Gilbert was the pick of the Bermuda bowlers with 4 overs, 2 for 18. In their second match, the Bermuda national team defeated Jamaica's under-19 national team by 20 runs. Once again, Bermuda batted first and scored 115 all out in 20 overs. Dion Stovall was again the top scorer with 45. David Ham added 36. In reply, Bermuda restricted the Jamaica under-19 team to 95 for 4 in 20 overs. Justin Pitcher was the pick of the Bermuda bowlers with figures of 4 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 26. Shelley Pearson and her Oxford University women's rowing teammates cruised to victory in the Newton women's boat race on the Thames River in the UK. They defeated Cambridge by some 6 boat lengths, crossing the line in a time of 19:45. The Bermuda Under-16 national netball team played their first game at the Jean Pierre tournament against the host country, St. Lucia. Bermuda, from start to finish, put an excellent performance together but fell 30-14. The Dennytown Hornets were yesterday crowned the 2014-15 FA Challenge Cup champions following their 3-1 victory over the Flanagan's Onions at the National Sports Centre. The Dennytown Hornets got goals from Tamika Wilson, Angelo Simmons, and an own goal, while Nathan Paskett scored the lone goal for Flanagan's Onions. In the Masters knockout final, the St. George's Stallions were crowned the champions for the 3rd consecutive year following a 1-0 win over St. David's. The lone goal of the game came in the 15th minute from Rudal Pitcher. On Saturday up at the Somerset Cricket Club, the St. George's Earl Boys retained the R.O. Smith Trophy after finishing 1-1 in regulation time with the Somerset Earl Boys. The St. George's Earl Boys managed to win 4-2 on kicks from the penalty mark. Flora Duffy finished 5th in the World Series Triathlon in Australia. Duffy clocked a time of 1:59.05. Meanwhile, on the local front, Jonathan Herron and Martina Olasaki-Bao were crowned the 2015 Catlin Triathlon Olympic distance male and female champions, while Tyler Smith and Erica Hawley were the sprint distance male and female champions. Herring clocked a time of 2:13.27. Mark Wilcox finished 2nd in a time of 2:17.51, and Mark Robinson rounded out the top 3 finishers in a time of 2:18.32. Olasaki Bao was the 9th finisher overall with a time of 2:30.52. Julia Hawley was the 2nd female finisher and 10th overall with a time of 2:31.19, and Christine Palmer was the 3rd female finisher and 13th overall in a time of 2:33.38. Tyler Smith covered the sprint distance course in a time of 1:03.09. Matthew Oliveira was 2nd to cross the line in a time of 1:08.21. Hawley was the 3rd competitor to cross the line. She clocked a time of 1:16.05. Amber Mehta was the 2nd female finisher in a time of 1:20.12. She finished 5th overall. The Bermuda Volleyball Open tournament concluded at the Work Academy Gymnasium yesterday, where the Kangaroos won the gold medal in the final against the Bermuda Red team, winning 2-1. The Kangaroos won the first game 25-20, but the Bermuda Red team would win the second game 25-21. The Kangaroos won the third and final game 17-15 to claim the title. In the women's bronze medal match, Bermuda Blues defeated the Baltimore Boas 2-1. Bermuda Blues won the first game 25-18 before Baltimore win the second game 25-15. Bermuda would then claw their way back to win the third and final game 15-12. The Bermuda Lawn Tennis Association's 2015 Open Singles Championship concluded at the Coral Beach Tennis Club on Saturday, where number 1 seed Gavin Manders had to claw his way back from 5-3 down in the first set to win the opening set over second seed Jensen Bascom 7-5. Manders would then close out the match, winning the second set 6-1 to claim the title. In his semifinal match, Manders had to defeat number 3 seed David Thomas in straight sets 6-4, 7-5, while number 2 seed Bascom had to overcome number 4 seed Sam Butler, love 6, 6-4, 6-2. On the ladies' side, number 2 seed Kayla Meeing went through the entire round-robin event undefeated after defeating on the final day Kayla Harvey 6-4, 6-2, and then she defeated Imani Phillips 6-4, 6-4. Shannon Lawrence won the Winner's Edge Open Male Time Trial in the East End on Saturday, clocking a time of 22:13.5. Mark Robinson finished second in a time of 23:03.8, and Anthony Bartley finished in third, clocking 23:48.8. Nicole Mitchell rode to victory in the Open Female race, clocking a time of 26:14.5. Zanique Williams finished second in a time of 26:40 flat. Sarah Burnett rounded out the top 3 finishers with a time of 28:47.2. The third annual Bermuda Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation's extravaganza took place inside the Earl Cameron Theater in City Hall in front of a packed house on Saturday night. These are the winners.
The first category is the fitness routine. So we want to bring, of course, Miss Sophia Kenneneer to the stage. The women's physique, ladies and gentlemen, competitor number 2, make her feel welcome, Andrea Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, 2015 winner of the Bikini Fitness competition. Ladies and gentlemen, in first place, brandishing number 9. 2015, ladies and gentlemen, first place goes to Monica Casella.
Thank you for joining. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Wednesday, April the 15th, there will be sunny periods with a few showers developing overnight. Winds will be southerly light to moderate, varying southwesterly moderate by evening, increasing westerly moderate to strong overnight. We're expecting of a high near 73 and a low near 65. This weather forecast is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Tuesday, April the 14th. I'm Charles Webb.